Hi guys, in today's episode we will be discussing human resource management. It is myself, Sander, joined by my brother Duan and our colleague Onalena. Let's jump into these topics. Today we're unpacking some core concepts that might seem a bit textbook at first, but trust me, they shape every workplace that we've ever been in. Let's start with something light. Duan, could you help us out here? What is organizational behavior and why should anyone other than a lecturer care?
100%. So here's the thing, organizational behavior, or OB, sounds like something that only people wearing suits and managers should be concerned about. But in actuality, it's a study of how people think, feel, and act at work. It's a mix of psychology, anthropology, and sociology thrown in. It's the core understanding of three levels: individuals, like personality or emotions; groups, so team dynamics, leadership styles and communication; and finally structure, the formal systems that make either things run smoothly or not so much. Now, why this matters. Think about any large-scale company in South Africa which seems a bit disorganized. If you've got brilliant systems in place, but people are disengaged, communication is a mess, and no one trusts leadership, your performance tanks. And even if you've got happy people but no structure, it is utter chaos. The organizational behavior is something which bridges the connection between human beings and the behavior within the organization's goals. A study by the EPRA, International Journal of Economics, Business and Management Studies, actually showed that companies which apply organizational behavior principles see a higher productivity, morale, and lower turnover. And thus, it's not just something which is relevant overseas, but it's something we see here in South Africa as well, especially in industries like retail or banking. I like to think about it this way. Organizational behavior is the manual on how people and companies actually work together. It's not enough to just know what to do. You also have to know how to get people to do what you want them to do and work well with each other while they do it.
And it's also about culture, no? Like whether the workplace is collaborative, competitive, or toxic. Understanding OB allows managers to shape that culture intentionally and purposefully rather than just hoping it turns out okay.
Exactly. Without organizational behavior, leaders will more likely than not be managing processes and not people. And with that, you won't have a sustainable company in that manner.
Okay, thank you for the insight. Let's move on to motivational theories. This is where it gets interesting because we're talking about what actually makes people get up in the morning and put effort into their work. Once again, Dawn, could you break it down for us?
Sure thing. Let's open up with the following. Most people assume that money is the only thing that motivates employees, which is not true. Research in fact shows from Ciendo, while salary is one matter for basic satisfaction, more so long-term motivation comes from a combination of recognition, growth, and opportunities. Let's break it down with some well-known theories. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. These are your basic needs, like your workplace safety in your environment and fair pay. If these needs aren't met, you aren't going to be motivated by team building exercises or even career workshops. Once those needs have been met, you move up to the next stage, wanting to be able to belong somewhere, being able to be respected, and even self-actualization. It is in some companies, this is the reason why they invest so much into wellness programs and mentorships. Heisenberg's two-factor theory. This one's big in HR circles. It basically states hygiene factors such as salary and policy will prevent dissatisfaction, but only motivators such as things like achievement, responsibility, and recognition can boost job satisfaction. Vroom's expectation theory. This one says motivation happens when people believe in their efforts will lead to performance increases, which is something like working very hard for promotion but not getting it. In this effort, you worked very hard, but you're demotivated instantly when this promotion was given to someone else. McKellen's theory of needs. This focuses on achievement, affiliation, and power. With this, matching someone's role to their dominant need will 100% improve their performance. So you might be asking yourself, how does this all affect job attitude as well as behavior? Well, if someone feels that their efforts aren't being seen, their commitment drops. If they feel their growth opportunities are real and they are more engaged. Motivation affects absenteeism, turnover, as well as collaborativism. You name it. A 2024 study by the Journal of Information, Education and Research found that companies with tailored motivation strategies saw a 27% increase in improvement of employee retention. That's a pretty huge number for high turnover businesses, such as things like call centers. Here's a South African example. Woolworths has been known for integrating recognition training into their strategy, which has helped keep staff engaged with high levels despite of tough retail conditions.
So basically, you can't treat motivation as a one-size-fits-all thing. You'd have to understand the different theories and apply them to specific people in situations that you've got.
Exactly, and that's why organizational behavior is so important. It gives us the tools to figure it all out. Moving on, 1.3. Zander, you've been eager to talk to us about this. It's perception. You say that it is a very important part in decision making within a company.
For sure. This one's fascinating because perception is how we interpret the world around us, and it's not objective. We filter everything through our own experiences, biases, and expectations. A 2024 study in Social Science Journal of Humanities and Innovative Studies pointed out that managers' decisions are often less about raw facts and more just about how they perceive those facts. For example, if a manager believes a certain team member is unreliable, they might interpret a single late arrival as proof, even though it might just be an isolated incident. There are several well-documented biases here. Firstly, we have selective perception, which indicates that we notice things that confirm our beliefs. Secondly, we have the halo effect, which means that one positive trait usually overtakes our opinion of someone. Thirdly, we have stereotyping, in which we generalize based on group members. And last of all, we have the framing effect, which is how information is presented and how we react to that information. You might ask, why does this matter for decision making? Well, imagine recruitment. If a hiring manager unconsciously prefers candidates from a certain university, they might overlook talent from another university or different backgrounds, which in South Africa could reinforce inequalities. Forbes argues that leaders who develop emotional intelligence can counteract some of these biases by being aware of their own perceptions and seeking diverse viewpoints. And here's a great example. During a merger between two local tech companies, leadership teams initially distrusted each other because they saw each other as the competition. It was only after facilitated workshops where they shared personal stories and clarified intentions that collaboration improved. The Athens Journal study found that when leaders challenge their own perceptual assumptions, the quality of the decisions goes up, whether it's about strategy, people, or innovation.
So it's not just about making the right decision, it's about making sure that the perception of the situation is accurate, and thus you'll be able to land on the right decision.
Exactly. You can't make a good decision if you're looking at the situation through a warped lens. Now over to you, Onalena. Could you please tell us about the importance and effect of linking individuals within the workplace?
Let me start off by extending my greetings to Duan, Brits, and Zander Brits. Speaking as Onal Nakoba, and I'll be presenting about linking individuals in the workplace. But firstly, let me start off with a very short quote that says, "The greatest asset of a company is its people," by George Polo Lamont, which is true, but it's not only its people, but rather certain factors found in people. Ensures the success of a company by linking individuals to the workplace, which fosters a culture of continuous improvement and commitment, which leads to a higher productivity and improves employees' working satisfaction. There are two types of ways to link an individual to the workplace, it being person job fit and person organizational fit. Organizational goals are important. They are the main principles that set for the linking of employees to the workplace. Organizational goals takes a company's overall strategy and breaks it down into manageable tasks. This allows the employees to be on the same page with the goals and the impact of their actions being recognized. This gives everyone a role to play and promotes accountability while celebrating good work. Person job fit measures how compatible a candidate is with a job, and it checks the expertise needed to perform tasks effectively of a clearly defined job role. Its importance is when employees work in an environment where their skills blend with the position or job role, the level of work satisfaction will increase and there will be a lower turnover rate, as employees will have experienced a great fulfillment while working. This improves performances and reduces stress, which leads to a sustained business growth, and also reduces company costs, as training will not be needed and there will be a reduced level of skills gaps. Positive effects: having employees with skills that meet the requirements of the job role will create an environment where employees feel motivated and see a future with the company, which provides a long-term retention of talent and higher engagement. Negative effects like change can also cause challenges if there are new developments in the company. It will create fear among employees and can cause resistance to work challenges and increased level of absenteeism, which may also create conflict in the workplace. Person organizational fit. It concentrates on how employees fit in the company regardless of their compatibility to the position. It relates well with how an individual blends with the organizational structure. Its importance is employees are able to adjust easily if their values match those of the organization, which also enhances organizational commitment, as employees will be motivated and creates a level of loyalty, which also reduces turnover and a positive work environment because employees have a smooth interaction with each other. Positive effects: if employees get along with each other, it's easier for them to come up with innovative ideas and be creative, which results to better quality of work. Its negative effects is employees' dissatisfaction may be created if there is a low morale and disengagement due to a lack of confidence, which may also lead to frustration and high absenteeism. Looking at all these points and the differences between a person job fit and a person who is organizational fit, we can agree that looking at both ways of linking the individuals in the workplace, they will continue spreading results of a company and leads to a stronger organizational culture, and customers will experience better services. And when employees understand what is expected of them, they will fit in the workplace and they will be provided with tools to work with. They will definitely succeed, and they will not only be aligned with the company or the work of the organization, but they will engage in their work. And although there are ways to link individuals in the workplace have their own unique differences, we can all agree that linking them, or them being used differently in their different ways in an organization, can expand the business production and can create a good, reputable image for the business or the organization at hand.
Okay, so in conclusion, OB is the study of how people behave in organizations and how critical it is to align human potential with company goals. Motivational theories give us frameworks for improving job attitudes as well as behaviors, and they work best when they're tailored to the people that are involved. Perception shapes every decision that we make, so being aware of biases is key for better judgment. And then finally, linking individuals to the workplace through person job fit and person organization fit fosters a culture of continuous improvement, enhances employee satisfaction, and drives organizational success. For joining us, that'll conclude today's episode. and I hope to see you all back here next week.